What's happening, everybody? We're here in the garage. Little update from last time. So the Miata's no longer here. We got that in storage. Here's a little clip of me driving it. Excited. Haven't driven this car in forever. Roasting the tires. That's why I don't drive this thing in the winter. It's dry out and I can still spin the tires. This is one thing I absolutely love about this car. It's this. Pop-up headlights. And I got the snowblower in the garage. That's what I'm gonna start working on today. Also got a propane heater, so we're not gonna freeze to death out here. Genuinely impressed with this heater right now. I started it like 2 minutes ago, ran inside to grab some tools, and it's already warm in this garage. I got the 125 to 170,000 BTU heater, so it is a good heater, and it heats up really quick. Okay, so the problem with this snowblower, last time I used it, it all of a sudden started having no power and then started leaking oil everywhere. So I have to figure out where the oil was coming from, if it like broke a seal somewhere or if it like blew a hole in the side of the block. If it did that, it's toast, but yeah, that's what we're gonna figure out. I took a good chunk of this apart, looked around. I couldn't find anywhere specifically that it would have been leaking, I guess because it's sat for over a year. So what I've done is I've cleaned the engine block with brake clean, made it all shiny and stuff. I'm gonna get this thing running again, and then if it starts leaking oil out again, I'll be able to find it because it'll be the only dirty spot. So it's alive! Okay, never mind, we definitely have a problem. You can see oil here, so the leak is somewhere up there. The leak is somewhere right in behind the exhaust, so I'm gonna pull it all apart and figure out where it's coming from. Okay, so the oil's coming out of this guy right here. It's coming out of there. So that means that there could be a couple different things going on here. I don't have a compression tester right now, so my buddy's gonna drop one off and we're gonna check the compression on this thing. Because I mean, I put my finger on there and it did blow my finger off, so that's good. It's good news, but gotta figure out how much compression we really have. Because there's a chance that there's too much stuff blowing by the piston rings. Okay, so my buddy Mike was just here. We checked the compression on snowblower. There's good compression, really good compression actually. So that means it's not what I thought it would be, which is like the piston ring being all worn out. So the only other thing I can think of is that there's some kind of water or gas somehow got into the oil pan and it's frothing up, and that's what's causing pressure. So I'm just gonna change the oil and see what that does. Okay, so the oil's draining out. It's actually pretty dirty. So what I'm looking for now is to see any changes in the gas flowing out. Like if it all of a sudden comes out a different color, then we know there's something wrong with the oil. Okay, this is exactly what I thought. It looks like we have two different viscosities in there, because as it got to the bottom bit of oil coming out, it kind of changed and started running out a little more watery. So that means that there's either water or gasoline also in the oil pan, which both of that is not good. So it's kind of hard to tell right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that into a clear container, let it sit. If it separates, then you can tell if it's water or gas. And if it's water, that means water just somehow got into the oil pan. Or if it's gas, that means the carburetor is doing something funny and it's squirting gas in there when it shouldn't be. So if it's gas, we've got to rebuild the carb, and if it's water, we just change the oil and hope it'll be okay. Now we wait to see if it separates. It's science now. We have to do science to figure out why our snowblower is not working. Okay, it's the next day here. Got sidetracked yesterday. But looking at the oil, you see that right there? Definitely gas in there. Water would be at the bottom if it was in there, which there isn't. So yeah, today is hopefully going to be a productive day because check the weather. We have a winter storm warning. We're supposed to get like a whole bunch of snow overnight tonight and then all day tomorrow. So it'd be nice to have a snowblower. And then also I spent all morning calling around trying to find parts so I can fix my truck so that I can have four-wheel drive also for that. In the garage, there's a couple things I'm going to do here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the old gas out of the gas tank, so then that way there's no chance that it's the old gas that's going to be screwing me up. Just to be less of a hassle, I'm draining it through this pipe into that. That's a jerry can I use for gas that I'm never going to put in an engine because it's dirty gas. Okay, so while that's draining, this is the carburetor. And what I think the problem is there's a float inside of here, and if that's damaged or stuck, it would allow gas to flow into the engine after it's running, or too much gas while it is running. Okay, so there's a little spring-loaded thing on here, so we're gonna first get all the gas out of there. Ooh, that looks pretty dirty, actually. That might be our problem. Oh yeah, some lovely things happening here. This is the bowl here, and that could very well be our problem. There are flakes and corrosion and all sorts of not good things happening in there. So, yeah, I guess we got to clean out our carb. It's important you also remember which hole all this stuff came out of. So, as you can see, that bar there is coming out of that hole. Just got to make sure it goes back in there. This is the carb. It's upside down right now. This is the float. And that, I think, is what's causing our problems. Because it was sticking a little bit, actually. I'm going to pull this off, get a good look at what's happening in behind there. This is actually a pretty old school snowblower. A lot of these floats nowadays, they're made out of plastic. This one's metal, so it's an oldie. Not damaged or anything, so that's good. So I guess it's just maybe dirt. So I've used a cleaner, cleaned all the inside. Then I took a air compressor here, which is nice about being at home. Got cool tools again. So I used that and I blew out all the airways, so there shouldn't be any debris blocking anything now. Okay, so basically I think what the problem is, right now the float is open, so that means that fuel would be flowing through the engine. Now, when you shut the engine off, gas will fill up this bowl, which goes in there, and it will lift this float up, and this pushes a little pin into a hole which stops gas from flowing into the engine. But if this stays open like that, when the fuel comes in and it doesn't close that little pinhole, which is, it's really hard to see, it's inside there, that little silver pin right there. If it doesn't close that, then the fuel will continue to flow into the engine when it's not running or when it's running at a low idle, which is actually when the oil started spewing everywhere, was at a low idle, and then it causes too much pressure in the crankcase. So, as long as this goes up when there's gas in the bowl, shouldn't have a problem anymore. All right, it's all back together, folks. Let's see what happens. Okay. Been running for about 5 minutes or so. I've had it high throttle, low throttle. So far, there's no oil coming out, so that's really good. I think I fixed it, because honestly, I could never run it this low of a throttle before. It would usually cut out. So I'm a happy camper right now. We fixed something! Alright, so the snowblower is good to go. That's going to be it for this video. The next video is going to start right now. Also, because I'm going to go part shopping, try to get parts for my truck. So, see you guys.